So when we're talking about self-development, we're talking about you developing your potential, because like I said last week, I believe in your potential. Even so, I can't see your face, but looking at your name, I want you to know that I believe in you. I believe in your potential. I believe that you are unique. I believe that you are not a biological accident. I believe that when God created you, He packaged into you gifts and talents. I believe that God loads you with potential. And like John Waxman said, he said, the gift of God to you is your potential. Your gift to God is you developing your potential. So when you look at yourself in the mirror, what do you see? Like this picture you are looking at on my screen. When you look at yourself in the mirror, do you see a lion that can conquer the world? Or do you see a cat? What do you see when you look at yourself? Because the difference between you and the one conquering the world is someone is developing themselves. So I believe that it is everyone's responsibility to discover their potential, develop their potential, and deploy their potential. I believe that everyone that wants to be great in life has to go through these three stages. You need to discover your potential, discover your giftings, discover your callings, discover your passion, discover what you are good at, discover what you love, discover the potentials that you have, the giftings of God in your life, the things that make you unique in this world, because not every two persons are the same. Even a twin, they are not the same. Everybody is unique. So we need to discover our potential. We need to develop our potential, and we need to develop our potential, because tonight it's all about your potential. Tonight is all about your potential. So when we ask people that, why are some people succeeding and some people are not succeeding? When we begin to ask people, what is the difference between the people who are succeeding and those who are not succeeding? I want to believe that the difference between the people that are succeeding and the ones that are not succeeding is personal growth and development. I believe that some people are paying the price to cultivate their potential. Some people pay the price to discover their potential. They are paying the price to cultivate their potential. They are paying the price to water their potential. They are paying the price to feed their potential. And then they began to grow their potential, and then they began to deploy their potential. I believe that is the difference between people who are successful and people who are not successful. People who are succeeding and people who are not succeeding. The difference is some people are paying the price to develop their potential. And tonight, it's my privilege to challenge you to pay the price of growth. It's my privilege to challenge you to pay the price of growth. Many people don't believe in themselves. That is one of the reasons that people are not developing themselves. Because now I want to challenge you that you need to see value in yourself, to grow yourself. A lot of people don't believe in themselves. They don't believe that they carry potential. They don't believe in the gifts they carry. They don't believe in their potential. They don't believe in their uniqueness. And tonight, I want to encourage you that you are unique. There's something special about you. And all you need to do is to begin to learn how to develop that potential, that gift inside of you. And that is what I want to show you tonight. A lot of people don't believe in themselves. Therefore, they don't see the possibility that God has put inside of them. They possess 100 acres of possibility, yet they never cultivate them because they are not convinced, and they won't be able to go and learn, grow, and blossom into something wonderful. A lot of people don't grow their potential, even though they possess 100 acres of possibility, yet they never cultivate them because they are not convinced that they can develop their potential. They are not convinced that they are unique. And that is what I want to encourage you to do tonight. I read the story of a lady called Joanetta. This lady, she was born to a single mother. In fact, her mother was like a prostitute using drug. They were living in a crowded house, in a crowded apartment. This lady was abused at a young age by her uncles. She practically lived her life on the streets. According to her story, she gave birth to her first child at the age of 13, I think was. She gave birth. She got pregnant at the age of 13. And she had a second child in her 20s. But according to her story, when she turned 30 on her 30th birthday, she looked at herself, just like I'm asking you to look at yourself tonight. She looked into the mirror, but we were told that she does not like what she saw. And she made up her mind that I'm going to change what I see. 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 And that's what she did. That's what she did. She began to develop her potential. She began to, she went back to school. She went back to learning. She was determined to break out of her comfort zone. She started taking steps. And guess what happened? Her story changed. I want to encourage someone listening to me tonight that there is good inside of you. You are better than who you think you are. You are greater than who you think you are. There is greatness inside of you. And all you need to do is to cultivate this greatness. Water this greatness. Feed this greatness. Grow this greatness. And it's only a matter of time. That greatness will appear for your world to see. So, I want you to know that tonight is all about potential. It's all about potential. It's all about you being determined to develop your potential. It's all about you being determined to activate, to develop your potential and to deploy your potential. And of course, like I said, a lot of people are not adding value to themselves because they don't believe in themselves. So tonight I want to be looking at some serious things that you can do that can help you to overcome what we call low self-esteem, because a lot of people are suffering from low self-esteem. That's why they are not developing themselves. You need to look into the mirror tonight, because your view of yourself will determine your behavior. One will never outperform their self-image. The value we put on ourselves is the value others will put upon us. You can never outperform your self-image. And the only way to put value on yourself is by adding value to yourself. You need to begin to add value to yourself. Begin to add value to yourself. Begin to add value to yourself through learning, through self-development, through equipping yourself, through developing your potential, through watering yourself, through acting on what you are learning. And as you do that, I see you maximizing your potential. I see you fulfilling your potential. If you place a small value on yourself, rest assured, the world will not raise the price. I believe that the world we live in is all about awareness. If we are not aware of the value that we carry, we are likely not going to place value on ourselves. And if we don't place value on ourselves, the world will not place value on us. While growing up, there is something that I think is an adage that they used to share with us while growing up. It simply says that if you don't value yourself, no one will value you. That is, if you sell yourself cheap, Nobody will buy you, will hold you in high esteem. So what we are saying tonight is that we need to place value on ourselves. And this is how we can place value on ourselves: by developing our potential, by paying the price of growth, by choosing to do the right thing, by being determined, by being motivated, by being focused in developing our potential. That is what we will need to do. And I'm going to be showing us in a minute how to do that. How do we do this? We need to begin to build our self-esteem. We need to begin to take steps. We need to be intentional about building our self-esteem. Because if we don't believe in ourselves, we will not develop ourselves. We will not add value to ourselves. Adding value to you is a journey. Growing is a journey. Paying the price of growth can be painful. Developing daily discipline can be painful. But when you believe in yourself, when you see yourself as a person of value, you begin to add value to yourself. You need to have something in you that will begin to motivate you to adding value to yourself. You remember the story of Jonathan that I told us? Jonathan woke up on her 30th birthday and she said to herself, I don't want my children to end up like every male in our family. I want to change the order of things in this family. And she began to walk towards that. She went to school. She failed the exam the first time. She went back to study again. And then from there, she went to university. You know, she started from college. She went to university, did her first degree, so did her second degree. And now she's working as a social expert, helping people. So I would like to tell you tonight, steps to build your self-esteem, you know, because we need to start to believe in ourselves. We need to start believing in ourselves. It was Zig Ziglar that says, it is impossible to consistently behave in a manner inconsistent with how we see ourselves. It is impossible to consistently behave in a manner inconsistent with how we see ourselves. We can do very few things in a positive way if we feel negative about ourselves. My friends, I've seen many people who don't even have an iota of positivity about themselves. All they think about is how bad they are, how they are not good for anything, how they cannot achieve anything in their life, how they cannot make things happen. So tonight, I want to show us steps to help you to build your self-esteem. Steps to help you and I to build our self-esteem. And number one is we need to guide our self-talk. What is self-talk? Self-talk are the things you say to yourself. The things you say to yourself, like, I can't do it, I cannot amount to anything, I'm not good enough. You know, those are what we call self-talk. Self-talk. We need to guide our self-talk. We need to know the things we are talking about. You need to guide your self-talk. Whether you know it or not, you have a running conversation with yourself all the time. Whether you know it or not, whether you believe it or not, that you are talking to yourself. Your mind is talking to you to tell you, you know, you can't achieve this. You know, you can't do this. You know, you can't pass that exam. You know, you're going to fail. You know, you're going to have accident. You know, things are not going to go your way. So that is your self-talk. So we need to guard your self-talk. You need to manage what you are saying to yourself. Someone said that by the time you are 17 years old, by the time you are 17 years old, you have had no, you can't, an average of 150,000 times. By the time you are 17 years old, you have had no, you can't, on the average of 150,000 times. So no wonder a lot of people don't believe in themselves. And they said, you have had, yes, you can, only 5,000 times. Can you imagine? They have told you that you cannot do it 150,000 times. And they have only told you that you can do it 5,000 times. No wonder people don't believe in themselves. So you need to begin to rewire yourself. You need to begin to tell yourself that you can do it. You need to begin to be determined about whatever you want to do, whatever dream you have. You need to be determined that yes, you can do it. That because God is with you, you can achieve your dreams. Listen to me, my friend. If you want to change your life, you have to change the way you think. If you want to change your life, you have to change the way you think about yourself. You have to change the way you think about yourself. You're thinking, well, I'm just a minority. I'm just a member of the ethnic minority. I'm just a black man or a black woman in England. I'm just from Africa. I'm irrelevant. Oh, I can't talk, or I can't speak, or I can't do this, I can't do that. No, you have to change all those. You have to believe that you can do it. You have to believe that you are the best. You have to believe that God is with you. You have to believe that wherever you go, you will succeed. Whatever you do, you will succeed. And to achieve this, you have to change the way you think about yourself. And of course, if you want to change the way you think about yourself, you need to change the way you talk about yourself. All those thoughts in your head talking to you. And to change the thoughts that are talking to you, you need to change the things you are listening to, or the things you are reading. The things you are reading or the things you are listening to. And of course, when you change the things you are listening to, it will change the way you think, and it will change your belief system. So to change your belief system, you need to change the way you are thinking. To change the way you are thinking, you need to change the way you talk to yourself. To change the way you talk to yourself, you need to change the things you hear, or the things you read. If the only things you hear is you can't do it, you can't amount to anything, you can't achieve your goal, you can't pass that exams, you can't go to university, you can't break graduates, you can't buy a property, you can't ride that car, you can't do this, you can't do that, there is no way you can do anything in life. So you have to change that to, look, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I can achieve my goals. I can live in my dream. You need to begin to listen to positive talks. And when you begin to listen to positive talks, it will change the way you think. When your thought pattern change, it will change the way you talk to yourself. When that change, then it will change your life. It will change the way you talk to yourself, and it will change your life. Listen to me. You have to take responsibility for this. You need to change your self-talk. You need to learn to become your own encourager, your own cheerleader. You need to encourage yourself. I'm the best. Tonight, even if it's only one person on this talk, I will still do it anyway, because I know I'm going to record it. Somebody else is going to listen to it at a point, and it's going to add value to them. You need to believe in yourself. And how do you achieve this? Guard your self-talk, what you say to yourself. Guard your self-talk. Stop listening to negative comments about you. Stop listening to those things that are telling you that you cannot do it. You cannot achieve your dreams. You have to change that. Number two, to build your self-esteem, you need to stop comparing yourself to anyone. I'm grateful to God for the way He created me. One of the things that I've learned early in my life is the ability not to compare myself with anybody, because I'm in the world of my own. The only person I compare myself to is myself. I look at my life last year, I see where I am today, and I said, okay, I'm making progress. It is dangerous. In fact, it is toxic to compare yourself with anybody. Because if you compare yourself with your friends that are not doing well, you think you are doing well. And so you might not reach your potential. If you compare yourself with your friends that are doing better than you, you would think you are not doing well, and you might be discouraged. So you need to stop comparing yourself with people. You are in the league of your own. You are in the world of your own. Comparing yourself to others is really just a needless distraction. When you compare yourself to others, it's a distraction in your life. Don't compare yourself to others. Just focus on your lane. Focus on your goals. Focus on your dream. Focus on what you want to achieve. One of the things that my friend taught me when we started jogging is that he would say, go at your pace. Go at your pace in life. Don't compare yourself with anybody. The only one you should compare yourself to is you. Compare yourself with yourself. Look at yourself. Where was I last year? Where I am today. Okay, this is where I am now. This is where I want to be next year. That is the only person you are permitted to compare yourself to. You focus on what you can do today to improve yourself and grow. Focus on what you can do today to improve yourself and grow. Number 3, you need to learn to move beyond your limiting beliefs. I've talked about that in Guard Your Self-Talk. You need to learn to move beyond your own self-limiting belief. You see, this is powerful. You can spend an hour talking about self-limiting beliefs. Many of us, we have self-limiting beliefs and they are stuck in our mind. Many things our parents have told us. Many things your peers have told you in school. Many things even your lecturers have told you. You know, today, I was just curious about something that I've heard some years ago. I have to check it up. Do you know that Microsoft, Bill Gates, he dropped out of Harvard University to go and start Microsoft? Do you know that Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg dropped out of Harvard University to go and start Facebook? Listen to me. I love education. I love going to university. In fact, I can tell you a lot of people that going to university has added value to what they are doing. Going to university will increase your capacity. It will enlarge your mind for learning. It will enlarge your mind. It will enlarge your heart for learning. It will increase your capacity in whatever you're doing. But what I'm trying to say here is, you see, if you're not careful with academic, it can put you in a straitjacket. Because when you go to school, they tell you that, look, this is the way you should do it. This is the way you should do it. It limits you from thinking out of the box. So you must learn to move beyond your own self-limiting beliefs. And this is how you can do that. I want to quickly tell you how to break these cycles, how to move beyond your own self-limiting belief. I want to quickly tell you that. Number 1, identify a limiting belief that you want to change. If the limiting belief in your life is that you cannot drive a new car. I have a friend who was working in a place where they gave them new cars. He was qualified to get a new car, but he just believed that it doesn't need to drive a new car. He just believed that he doesn't deserve to drive a new car. All he have to do is just buy second-hand car or one car that is a knockabout. It's just to take him from A to B. It's a self-limiting belief. So to change your limiting belief, you need to identify that area that you want to change, that particular area where that limiting belief is. Number 2, determine how the belief limits you. You identify that limiting belief. Number 2, you determine how that belief limits you. For some people, they believe, well, especially for people of ethnic minority, well, I don't have to buy a property in England. I'm going to go and build a mansion in Africa. I'm from Africa. When I retire, I will go back to Africa. So I don't need to buy a property here. That is a limiting belief. Who told you that you cannot buy properties here and build mansions in Africa? So you need to identify that area that you want to change. Number 2, determine how the beliefs limit you. Number 3, decide how you want to be, act, or feel. That is, you want to decide that, look, I want to rise above this limit. This is what I want to achieve. This is how I want to be. Have a dream, have a goal. Then you create a turnaround statement that affirms or gives you permission to be, act, or feel in this new way. That is, for example, if it's a house, say, I can build a house in Africa and I can buy a property in the United Kingdom or wherever you are. I can build properties and I can buy properties. Nothing is limiting me. The earth is of the Lord and the fullness thereof. The whole earth is before me. I can make global impact. So that is how you can overcome your limiting belief. Number 4, you must learn to add values to others. I love talking about adding value to others. Actually, if you really, really want to make money in life, if you want to make money, learn how to add value to others. Because money is exchange for value. I read the story I think in 15 Invaluable Law of Growth that I'm sharing with you tonight. Someone came, they had a problem in the warehouse, and they called for this technician to come and help them with the equipment. They've struggled to solve the problem. They couldn't. So they sent for this technician to come and help them with the equipment that they have problem with. On getting to the place, the technician just assessed the area, assessed the equipment, and went to the section of the equipment, and he tapped the section, and the equipment started working. So the guy went back and sent the invoice to the company. He sent the invoice for £1,000 or $1,000. So the manager was so furious that, what did you do? You came here, you didn't even spend 5 minutes with us, and you are charging us for $1,000. And the guy replied to his query by saying, well, for coming out, I'm charging your company 1 cent. But for knowing the place to tap, I'm charging you for $999. That is the power of value, because the person has added value to himself. He knows where to tap. Knowing where to tap, other people have come to solve the problem. They don't know where to tap. So when you become a person of value, when you become a solution provider, when you become the light in your community, when you become the answers to people's problem, when you become a solution to people's problem, you see naturally money will begin to flow to you. Add value to others. Add value to others. Some people, all they know is to feel like a victim in life because they lack self-esteem. They always feel negative. They are always a victim. They never feel like a victor. Thank God we have a victor on the call tonight. You must always feel like a victor. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Okay, let's move on. Henry Ford said, whether you think you can or you think you can, either way, you are right. Still talking about believing in yourself. You have to think that you can. Number 5, do the right thing, even if it's hard. We must learn to do the right thing. To build our self-esteem, to build your self-esteem, you need to learn to do the right thing, even if it's hard. If you are studying, if you want to write an exam, you need to learn to create the time to study for your exam. That's the right thing to do. When your exam is coming, it's not the time to go partying. You need to do the right thing. That's how to build your self-esteem. Every time you take action that builds your character, you become stronger as a person. Because when we are talking about personal growth, we are talking about character growth. We are talking about becoming a person of value. We are talking about becoming someone that people cannot get rid of easily. When you become a person of value, no corporation can sack you. Everybody will be fighting to have you in their company because they know you have a value to add to them. Every time you take an action that builds your character, you become stronger as a person. The harder the task, the greater the character you build. You can actually act yourself into feeling about yourself. Sometimes, as a pastor of a church, I don't feel like praying, but I force myself to pray. And most of the time, by the time I finish praying, I feel good. Because sometimes I do some things that are hard. Sometimes I fast for days. It's hard, but I do it. After doing it, I feel good. When people begin to share testimony, I feel good. So do the right thing, even if it's the hard thing. So number 6, I'm talking about steps to build your self-esteem, because we are talking about self-development today. Steps to build your self-esteem. Practice a small discipline daily. I think I've been shouting about this a lot. You need to practice some self-discipline daily. What does that mean? When you know the right thing to do, start doing it. Do something daily that will add value to you. The proof that you will enjoy that glorious future lies in your daily agenda. The proof of a glorious future lies in your daily agenda. What do you do daily? Do something daily to add value to yourself. Maybe you just need to study daily, read a book daily. As a pastor, I pray daily. What is that thing you do? Make sure you practice more discipline daily. Since your self-worth is based upon your positive habits, action, and decision, your practice every day. Let me say that again. Since your self-worth is based upon the positive habits, actions, and decision you practice every day, why not build your self-esteem and tackle your biggest problem at the same time? Because when you begin to build your self-esteem, you are tackling your biggest problem. And when you are practicing small discipline daily, you are building your self-esteem. I found out that people that suffer from self-esteem, when they don't do what they ought to do, they feel bad. They feel bad. But instead of feeling bad, why not just do it? Just do it. That is Prophet Nike for you. Just do it. Practice small discipline daily. When you practice more discipline daily, you build your self-esteem and you tackle your biggest problem. Don't worry that you will make mistakes. Don't fret. You just do it. The more you do it, the better you become. Boost your self-esteem. Boost yourself by taking small steps that will take you in a positive direction. Why not practice small discipline daily from tonight? I hope that someone hearing me tonight, you make up your mind after this talk that you begin to do something. Plan your routine. Put some things that will add value to your life in your routine. Go and get a book and say, you know what? I'm going to be reading 10 pages a day. I'm going to be reading 5 pages a day on this book. I want to add value to myself. I'm going to pray daily. I'm going to do something to add value to myself daily. I'm going to learn something daily. That is how you can build your self-esteem. So, number 7, celebrate some small victories. When you do what you say you want to do, maybe you say you want to lose weight, or maybe you want to be having exercise every day, you want to be doing exercise every day. When you do it, celebrate. Yay, I've done it. Yes, celebrate yourself. Tell yourself, well done, I've done it. So, celebrate yourself. Whatever you want to do, whenever you achieve that goal, celebrate yourself. Take yourself out. Take yourself out for a dinner. And if you have a family, take your family out. Just tell them, I'm just celebrating myself. Come and eat on me. Okay, number 8. Embrace a positive vision for your life based on what you value. Embrace a positive vision for your life based on what you value. You know, I found out that in life that a lot of people don't have vision for themselves. Sometimes when you have people, what do you want to achieve in life? I don't know. Especially, I find that among young people, what course do you want to study? I don't know. Also, what's your plan? I don't know. What's your dream? I don't know. You need to embrace a positive vision for your life based on what you value. What do you value? For me, I value abundance. I hate poverty. So every day I'm thinking, how can I be prosperous? How can I be better than where I am today? How can I multiply the seed in my hand? That's what I'm thinking every day. If you have a positive vision for your life, if you have a positive vision for your life, and you take action to fulfill that vision, then you will more readily recognize that your life matters. You see, people that have positive vision for their life, they don't want to die. It's not that they are afraid of death. They know that they are adding value to people. They know that their life matters. So they don't just want to keep adding value to people. So to achieve this, you need to ask yourself, what do I value? I've told you what I value. I value abundance. I value prosperity. I hate poverty. So what do you value? What prompts you to see a positive vision for your life? If you don't have a vision, you are likely to be apathetic. You are likely to be lethargic if you don't have a vision. A lot of people don't have a vision for their life. What do you value? I told you a story of Janetta earlier on. Janetta had a vision. She doesn't want her children to grow up like she grew up. She wants to break the cycle of violence. Every male in her family growing up went to jail. She doesn't want her children to go to jail. So she paid the price of growth. She had the vision for her life. So you too need to have a vision for your life. And number 9, you need to take responsibility. Take responsibility for your life. You must take responsibility. Because we tend to get in life what we are willing to tolerate. If we allow others to disrespect us, we get disrespected. If we tolerate abuse, we get abused. If we think it's okay to be overworked and underpaid, guess what will happen? If we don't have a plan and purpose for our lives, we'll become a part of someone else's. Take responsibility for your life. A lot of people just, they pass the ball. They don't want to take responsibility. My friends, I want to encourage you, take responsibility for your life. Take responsibility. Tell yourself, I can make it happen for myself. I can make my dream happen. I can achieve my goals. I can do it. Take responsibility. And what you want to achieve will be achieved. No. Tonight, I'd like you to look into the mirror. When you look into that mirror, what are you seeing? I would like you to choose wisely. Choose to develop yourself. Choose to work on your self-esteem. Choose to add value to yourself. Choose to work towards achieving your goals in life. Choose to fulfill your destiny. Choose to maximize your potential. Choose to come out of the rut. Choose to break boundaries. You know, a lot of people, they just like to stay in their comfort zone. Choose tonight to step out of your comfort zone. Choose to now to break that barrier on your family. I want you to make a choice tonight. As I bring this talk to a close, I would like you to make a choice tonight. I'd like you to make a choice tonight. Make a choice tonight. Make a choice tonight. So